beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light.
Land of tranquility, yet upheaval, of wisdom and folly, of plenty, yet poverty, hope and again despair, lethargy, yet vitality. The very name Mizo Hills is alluring and provoking. You have been a judge of the district council at Aijal for quite some time. What, in your opinion, are the views of the public regarding development of the Mizo Hills?
The Mizo people are highly conscious in the matter of development. Since independence, they have been determined to develop economically at an accelerated pace. They want to have better and more schools. They now have better roads too. They have a district council of their own. There is a court, also under the district council. In both the district council and the court, Mizos work as administrators, executives and judges. In both the district council and the court, even the most illiterate persons use their own language. This in itself is a great advance, and the people as a whole are quite happy.
For the uplift and development of the Mizos, what steps do you suggest should be taken?
The Mizos have a great desire for the kind of progress which is being achieved in other places. They need facilities for higher studies, especially science. Longer and better roads, better hospitals are also needed. Setting up of industries will help in development. We need more employment opportunities. When the dry season comes, water scarcity is great, and it is necessary for the government to arrange more water for the people. My name is Lal Mingliana, and I am one of the 300,000 people who live in this northeastern corner of India. The Mizo Hills, about 8,000 square miles in area, are bounded in the north by the Kachhar district and Manipur, in the east and south by Burma, and in the west by Bangladesh and Tripura. The Mizo Hills are densely forested. The hill ranges, interspersed with deep valleys, are covered with luxuriant vegetation. Amid this magical landscape, we hill communities build our homes on the tops of ridges. Hence the word Mizo, he who dwells on the hills. Our rhythm of life is simple and centers around jhum, or shifting cultivation. Most of us are Christians. We also have in the Mizo Hills the Buddhist Chakma and various groups with their traditional faiths. The literacy rate in our district is one of the highest in the country. Across this rich tapestry of hills and dales, one can see the interplay of east and west. My occupation is the running of a modest store at Aijal. After graduation, love blossomed into marriage. We were blessed with a son.
Regional Officer, Directorate of Publicity,
I remember vividly the day when the opportunity came to me and to several other Mizos to start on a tour of other parts of our vast country. The tour was arranged by the Field Publicity Directorate of the Government of India.
High school circuit kani. Lazom dia kani ya aizo tanga local kani.
Coming to Ardinga, Lalam Zolipa, Lune Tanga local kani.
Ramoy kani ya sarang tanga local kani.
Pero Kuma, Lune tanga local kani ya, Second Christian High School circuit kani.
K2 Aizo College lecturer kani ya, coming to Peterlian Lea, Ani.
Breaking thai kani ya aizo la high school circuit kani.
I am Nuri Ralte, a teacher at a mission school in Aijal. We gathered at Silchar, where we got to know each other. The thrill of anticipation and the excitement of the trip had begun. Emplaning was like a dream, for almost all of us were entering an aircraft for the first time. We were proud and grateful to have this opportunity. Our hearts rejoiced in thanksgiving, glorifying God who had made it possible for us to see more of the world He created.
It was a thrilling moment when I was smoothly lifted up from the earth. The universe of space embraced me, swallowed me up. But my thoughts drifted back home. Everyone's thoughts were their own companions. Upon the fertile loom of thought, we wove our fancies. I found myself on land in Guwahati.
We greeted nature's radiant eye high in his chariot from the balcony of Hotel Sunrise. The rickshawalas were completely unaware that I was curiously viewing them.
In the Mizo Hills, water is a precious commodity during winter, so scarce that it must be conserved with care.
We set out to explore Guwahati, Assam's ancient city, singing all the way. Our exploration brought us to Guwahati's well-known zoo.
Dispersing light from afar, the sun smiled on the church spire. We met in congregation for prayer. Each did not pray for himself alone. Jesus Christ wished each to pray for all, since he in his single person had suffered for all. He united us with our folks living in Guwahati.
We were now on the road to Darjeeling, the queen of hill stations. The road proceeded up a steep, barren hill in a series of hairpin bends. We halted to look at the tea shrubs, whose leaves are brewed all over the world to make the drink which cheers but does not inebriate. As we continued climbing up, at every turn, beauty fresh and unspeakable revealed itself in a magnificent panorama.
We arrived at the foot of the Himalayas at an elevation of 7,000 feet. From the hotel, we saw mountains on mountains in clusters. Above them towered Kanchenjunga, the monarch of mountains, in a robe of clouds with a diadem of snow. Its solitude has remained unperturbed since the dawn of creation. There must be meaning on the faces of the majestic mountains and precipices hung with glaciers. Their utterance we could not comprehend, but we knew that there was God behind them. And the spirit that breathed into these natural temples of rock and ice prompted us to sing in praise. When we went to the Mountaineering Institute, we were welcomed by the Sherpa hero of Everest, Tenzing Norgay. Born and bred in the heart of the Himalayas, he has a special kinship with the Magic Mountains. We met others like him in the school of stern but voluntary discipline, which is the essence of serious mountaineering. These aspirants had found enchantment in a sense of vast spaces and something of eternity, in the joys and risks of scaling dizzy heights. In the settlement of Tibetan refugees, we were greeted in traditional style. The presentation of the scarf was a token of friendship. Our country, in spite of her own problems, welcomed them hospitably when they trekked over the high passes seeking refuge from oppression. Today they are self-supporting. They export the products of their weaving, spinning and carpet making. The women and children joined us where Tibetan dancers whirled around, some of them in weird masks, accompanied by cymbals, thundering gongs and sharp cries. I drank rice beer, akin to our own zoo. We reciprocated by singing about our tribal history, achievements and philosophy. Sadly leaving our friends behind, we proceeded to Kurseong, the land of the white orchid. And along the looping, winding pathway, our jeeps were equipped with shock absorbers, most of which were the passengers. At the All India radio station, the artists entertained us with sweet Nepali music. Playing the guitar, my natural instinct found an outlet. We Mizos love music for the memories, the tender feelings it can stir at a touch. When the twilight sun turns the Mizo hills and cliffs into crimson gold, in musical sessions,